The Jim push-button razor was a significant innovation in the safety razor industry, offering a convenient and effective shaving experience without the need for blade maintenance. The Jim Company, founded by Jerry Richard in 1898, produced millions of single-edge safety razors from the 1880s through the 1980s. The push-button mechanism was a key feature, allowing for easy blade engagement and disengagement, which contributed to the razor's popularity and widespread use. The Jim push-button razor's history is marked by its quality craftsmanship and attention to detail, making it a nostalgic piece for collectors and enthusiasts of vintage grooming tools. And we're going to shave with it, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, Nick here. Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So here I have the Jim push-button razor. This beautiful guy right here was produced in the late 1950s to the early 1960s. And this is the push-button razor. You push that button there, opens up, put the blade in it, push that button, and it closes. I don't think you can close it manually like this. Yeah, see, it doesn't stick. You have to use the button to close it. There it goes. But this is a beautiful piece. I just got it full of fingerprints. I always have my razors in my little collection cabinet here, and they're all shiny and looking good. But yeah, it's got, I don't think this is Bakelite. I think this is actually plastic handle. It's not Bakelite. It does have the Jim written out right there inside in the metal there. You can, oh, there you go. Now you can see it there. But yeah, this is a beautiful guy. You open it up, there's no soap scum in there. It's very, very clean. Whoever had this kept really good care of it. I'm very fortunate to find all these razors in good shape. Not all of them. Some of them are in really, really bad shape. I just bring them back to life. But this one I was fortunate enough to find in really, really good shape. So we're going to throw down a shave with it. We're going to see how it shaves. Everything I read, all the research I do, it says that it's very mild. So we're going to run it through its paces and we're going to check it out. I'm going to be shaving with Chisel Face Grumatorium. I'm going to use a Ghost Town Barber. This stuff is very, very lovely scent. Oh yeah, it's really, really good. I actually bought this off of Amazon, believe it or not. So I've got the matching aftershave splash here. And of course, I've got my Geo Fat Boys Shave Nation Allen block here. I ended up putting my witch hazel inside this amber spray bottle here because I was just making a mess, spilling it everywhere, getting it on my face. So I figured out I'm going to put it in a spray bottle. This is the only one I had. I was thinking I should get a smaller one, but hey, I'm not using this one, so I'll just utilize it. I'm going to use it now. And then, of course, I got my Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the Cube. I'm going to shave with that. And today, I'm not going to do a face lather. I'm actually going to do a bowl lather because I want to talk about bowl lathering technique. I'm going to use this bowl here. I can't remember what it's called. This is another Amazon find. I got this when I first started wet shaving. And when I first started wet shaving, that's all I did was bowl lather. So I'm going to show you my technique, how I bowl lather and why I use this technique. And we're going to go over the pros and cons because my last video where I was doing the painting technique, face lathering, I did mention in the intro that all these techniques have their pros and cons. There's no right answer, wrong answer. You do what works for you. Just because I do this doesn't mean what you're doing is wrong. And what it works for me and what might not work for you, what you're doing, you know, vice versa. You know, everybody has their own way of doing things. And, you know, we sit in here, we mess around with it. We bowl lather, we face lather, we can palm lather, you know, and whatever works for us, that's what we do. So I am going to use a dash of soap. And if you don't think that a dash is a true measurement, well, this little spoon's going to prove you wrong right here. A dash is absolutely a scientific measurement of whatever material you're using. But honestly, guys, this is a quarter teaspoon. It's just a quarter teaspoon of soap. So I'm going to scoop out a quarter teaspoon here. I'm just going to get it flat on there and make sure that that's all I'm using. I'm not overfilling this spoon. Just want to get exactly a quarter inch because running these experiments, this is what I have found works, and this is what I want to show you that I do because it works. I don't like those big giant lathers, which I was doing at first. I don't like those big giant lathers that, you know, you can get 3 passes and a touch up, and then the rest of it, you're throwing it away, or you're not throwing it away, but you're rinsing it into the sink and it's just going to waste. I don't like that because when I first started wet shaving, I was bowl lathering, and I noticed that I was wasting a lot of product. Yeah, I was building these big, giant, luxurious lathers that were flowing over the bowl, you know, and they were beautiful and they were great, but I was wasting it. And I felt really bad about that. I felt really bad because my Native American heritage, I believe that, you know, we have to show these products the utmost respect because they have the essence of life in them. Whether, you guys have heard me talk about this extensively, whether it's plant-based life or it's animal-based life. You know, I don't know if it's a vegan soap or if it has tallow in it. Either way, they have the essence of life, and we should not disrespect that. And I should not disrespect that. I'm just letting you know what I do. I'm not telling you what you should do or what you need to do or what I want you to do. In my eyes, I did not want, that was very disrespectful for me to do that. So I ran a bunch of experiments to find out how I could build the best lather without wasting soap. And what I found out was, for a 3-pass and touch-up, 1/4 inch, what am I saying over here? 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon of soap is all you need. And water, well, water you will need anywhere between, depending on the soap, you will need anywhere between 6 and 9 milliliters of water. I have a syringe here without the needle, and this guy goes up to 3 milliliters. So I'm going to fill this guy up, and I am going to start. You know what? I don't even have a brush with me. What am I doing? All right, let's grab a brush here. I'm all ready to go, and I don't even have a brush. Huh, imagine that. So I'm going to use the Cherry Royale by the Razor Company. I guess it's fitting because I'm wearing the Razor Company shirt today too, so we'll use this guy, the Cherry Royale. This is actually a beautiful, beautiful brush. So anyway, now I'm ready to go. So I am going to take this soap in here, which is 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to start with 1 milliliter of water here. There we go. I got it on the number 2 there. So I'm going to get this brush wet too. You know what I'm going to say. I'm going to get the brush wet. No need to soak it. It's a synthetic. I'm going to knock all of this water out of here and get all of that out. And I got soap on my fingers, and my fingers are really slick, so I'm going to rinse it off real quick. And yeah, I've got 1 milliliter of water in here. Oh, I got an itch right here on my nose, or next to my nose. So I'm just going to start here. And we're going to start building a lather. And let's talk about the pros and cons about doing a bowl lather, because I started bowl lathering when I first started wet shaving. I started a bowl lather, and I just want to touch on what I said again about not wasting this product. One of the benefits of doing a bowl lather is that you can control the water and soap ratio, and you can make the perfect lather in a bowl lather. You are in complete control of how much water and how much soap ratio you use. I'm going to put another milliliter in here, and then we're just going to keep going, and we're going to keep building this lather. Of course, that syringe only holds 3 milliliters, so I will have to fill it up again, but that's how I did it. That's how I've done it. You could probably put the whole thing in there and start whipping it up, but I found it best through my trial and error experiments here, that adding 1 milliliter at a time, that just works for me. I don't want to dilute it too much and then have to work it and work it and work it. But I'm just filling it up, and it's really not turning into much, but it looks really good on the brush here. So I am going to add my last milliliter of water here. And like I was saying, one of the pros about doing this is you can control the soap and water ratio, and you can make it exactly how you want it. You can't do that. I guess you can do that if you're palm lathering or face lathering, whether you're using the layering technique or the painting technique. It's just more difficult. It's more difficult to pay attention, because when you're face lathering or palm lathering, what your main concentration, in my opinion, your main concentration is on building the lather. And this right here, when you're bowl lathering, the main concentration is actually on your lather. Not building the lather, but actually on the lather, in my opinion. So I've got it whipped up pretty good right there. I'm going to fill my syringe with water again. And then we're going to get another milliliter of water in here. Another pro to, let me see, okay, get another milliliter in here. Another pro to bowl lathering is, I just feel like it's more intimate relationship between you and the soap. Especially if you're trying to get to know the soap, get to know how the soap is going to perform under certain circumstances. If you're trying to learn about the notes, if you're wanting to learn about the fragrances, you can actually tell when the soap starts to turn and when those scent notes starts to bloom. Because when you bowl lather, you will absolutely be able to tell that, hey, this stuff, oh my God, it just comes alive, you know. You will be able to notice that, you know, when you're bowl lathering. I think when you're face lathering, you actually miss that. Because like I said, in my opinion, I feel like you're too busy building a lather. By the time you know it, you've already got the lather built on your face and you're like, holy crap, this stuff smells really, really good. But when you're bowl lathering, you actually are right there. And you are actually noticing when the soap starts to turn and when it starts, the scent notes are starting to bloom out of it. And when it's starting to make the change, you know, you're right there and you can tell. And that's a really cool thing. And actually, I haven't bowl lathered in a long time. And I think I actually missed that quite a bit. Once I started bowl lathering, you know, I was like, I used to do this all the time. And I forgot how good this was. And, you know, what it does, how it talks to you. Because if you pay attention to your lather, it will talk to you. It's telling you, I need more water. Or it's telling you, hey, smell me. Look at how I'm changing. Is this superior to face lathering? Well, you know, it depends what you're trying to do. You know, it depends what you're trying to do. Like I said, if you're trying to get to know your soap really, really well, then yeah, this is the technique you want to use. If you're trying to learn about the scent notes, or you're trying to find a certain, you know, base note or a middle note, you know, this is the technique you want to use. And this stuff is starting to look really, really good. It doesn't have any really small bubbles in it anymore. It's starting to get that foamy consistency, but I'm going to check the edges and I'm just going to fold it over and make sure those peaks are starting to drop, and they're not, so that tells me it needs quite a bit more water. So I'm going to put my last milliliter of water in there, and I can tell just by the consistency, is that the right consistency? Yeah, that's the right word. Consistency of this soap, that it's probably going to take a little bit more water. Now, all the soaps are a little different. That's why I said you want to play with them. You want to figure them out, because they all have a different personality to them. And like I mentioned earlier, you're going to use between 6 and 9 milliliters of water, and it looks like I'm going to use a little more. But man, it is coming together. It doesn't have that great sheen yet. It does have a small sheen, but it has all those small little bubbles out of there. No more little bubbles anymore. It's really starting to come together. And this video is starting to get a little long, so I'm hoping it doesn't take me too long, but I'm going to go until we get it right, because I don't want to build it wrong, and I don't want to do it just in a hurry just to get it done right. I want to do it right, or else what I'm doing here is all for nothing. So I'm going to add another milliliter here. I do want to add the whole thing so I can hurry up and get it built, but it's not worth it. We'll just take our time and we'll do what we need to do, and we're going to do it right. We're not going to do it in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, walk away, come back later. Come back later when you got time, because you shouldn't be in a hurry doing this. This is your time. This is your time to enjoy what you're doing here. So, okay, I'm going to get a little bit more vigorous here. And yeah, it's starting to build here. This stuff smells so good. So I was talking about how it changes, right? So let's take a hit of this as it's blooming, and let's get a hit off of the tub too. So, oh yeah. Oh, what a difference, man. That is so wild how it changes like that. Yeah, this is just the soap, right? Oh, and this is alive. Oh man, how amazing is that? That's just so wild. I really did miss bowl lathering. I tell you what, I really did miss it. This is such an awesome thing to bowl lather. So another pro of bowl lathering is for you gentlemen that have really sensitive skin. The bowl lathering technique is probably for you because you are not going to irritate your skin by exfoliating your whiskers and so much so that the brush is going to start to irritate your skin. You're going to build the lather here in the bowl instead of on your face, and that is less irritation. Because you can always put this on your face, and once you get this on your face, then you can exfoliate your whiskers, right? Yeah, you could do that. There's no problem doing that. So I'm going to put the last milliliter in here, and we're going to whip this up. And I don't want to put any more than that because I know if I do, I'm going to start, what am I trying to say? Man, I have all the words in a different language in my head, but I'm trying to translate them into English as I talk. Dissipate. It's going to start to dissipate. It's going to start to thin out. There we go. You know what? I think I'm going to do an episode in Spanish. I'm going to just use the Spanish language. That probably be very simple, very easy. It would be a very comfortable, easy video because sometimes I don't have the English language all in my head, and I struggle sometimes to say what I need to say in English. But I pretty much put it together okay, I guess. I struggle a little bit, but not that bad. Sometimes I got to say the words in Spanish in my head. That way I can figure out what they are in English, and then I say them. So I'm going to check the peaks here. Oh, the peaks are starting to drop a little tiny bit, but look at all that on my brush here, and look at what's in the bowl. There's plenty. So this is a perfect amount to do 3 passes and a touch-up. Because if there's any more than this, it's just going to waste, and we don't want to do that. So let's get ready for this shave. I do have 3 days of growth here, so we're going to take this off here. I'm going to get my face wet, and then I'm going to get some pre-shave on my face. And let's get this going because I don't want this video to be super long. But I did want to talk about this razor because I'm very excited to have this razor. And I wanted to talk about the bowl lathering too because, like I mentioned in my face lathering video, there's pros and cons to all of it. And there is no wrong or right. There's only what works for you. And I can't reiterate and stress that enough because that is so true. You just have to keep trying different things and figure out what works for you. And if you're a one razor kind of guy, then by all means figure out what works for you and stick with that. Us guys who are doing videos and reviewing all kinds of products, we know what works for us. We just make a mental note. And then for everybody else that's watching our channels and that are subscribed to our channels, oh, I dropped my towel. We just review all kinds of different stuff. And I tell you what, in the privacy of our own lives, we do go back to some of these things sometimes, I'm going to hydrate and we'll mess around with them. So, oh yeah, that feels real good. That's a real nice thick consistency there. And then you can always just exfoliate your whiskers a little bit, just like this. And that 1/4 inch of soap, or that 1/4 inch, I keep saying a 1/4 inch, that 1/4 teaspoon of soap with 9 ml of water, that still might have been way too much soap. Because there is a lot of soap here, man. And I still have a whole bunch in that bowl. So what I'm going to do, that being said, is I'm going to go ahead and do 3 passes. So I've got that on my face. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to get my blade loaded up in here. Let me see if I can show you guys. Here we go. I've got the gym blade here. I'm going to get loaded up in this guy. I think. Okay, so I got it loaded up in there. I got it at these blade stops here. Now I'm just checking the edges to make sure it's not sticking out. And then I'll push this button, push it closed. It actually closed up very tight. There, it snapped. And that looks like it's lined up pretty good there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray my face down just a little tiny bit, get some hydration there. And then I'm going to use this guy and go with the grain here. That actually feels pretty good. That doesn't feel too bad at all. It feels really good. Oh, because this is a single edge blade, I recommend rinsing it off more than that. I don't know, that feels really comfortable, man. That felt really comfortable. So I'm going to get lathered up one more time here, and we are going to go across the grain. And because I have a lot of soap in that bowl, I'm going to grab some. See, there's plenty of soap in here, just tons of soap in here. So I'm going to put this on my face. Yeah, that 1/4 teaspoon was more than enough here. Sorry about the traffic noise outside. Guys pass by thinking that they're in the Indy 500. All right, that's a good amount of soap on my face here. Still got more than enough here. I'm going to get this razor dipped in the water, and then we're going to go across the grain here. All right, I'm going to get ready for my third pass. Just going to hydrate my face a little bit. We'll get the brush and get some more soap on my face here. So I'm going to grab a little bit more of this. See, there's not much there, but there's still some in there. So if I need a touch up at the end here, I've got plenty of soap to do that. All right, I got plenty of soap on my face there. I'm going to go across the grain, or against the grain here. All right, that's it for the third pass. Let's rinse off here, see how we did. Oh, what a good little razor. So I have a little bit here, a little bit right here, and some in my chin right here. So I'm going to lather up right here again, get cleaned up. All right, let's see how we did. I don't feel too bad. Still got a little bit right here. That feels good. A little bit right here. All right. So I do have to go back and still buff a couple of spots with this little razor, but other than that, it feels really good. Got a little bit right here. Very stubborn spot right here on my face. All right, that feels good. Huh? I might have a little bit here somewhere. Thought I felt some somewhere. All right, I think that'll do it. I'm going to rinse off really well here. All right, now that I'm rinsed off really good, I'm going to get this Allen block, dip it in the water, get it on my face, see what my face tells me. I don't have nothing there. Nothing here where I touched up either. Oh, cool. Nothing there. All right, so it seems like I've got a little tiny bit of tingling in a couple of areas, but absolutely no stinging. And I got a really good shave. Eventually, I did have to go touch up a couple areas. I had to touch up right here, under my chin, and right here. But hey, after touching up, I got a really good shave. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm going to let this sit on my face for about 30 seconds, then I'm going to rinse it off. All right, I'm rinsed off pretty good there. I'm just going to pat my face dry here. All right, I got my witch hazel in this bottle here. I'm just going to spray it on my face. That worked a lot better. Rub it around. Oh yeah, I got a great shave. There's nothing to complain about here. All right, I got my aftershave splash here. I'm going to just shake the snot out of it. And didn't look like there was any ingredients there that were separating, but still, it's good practice. I never used to before, but I do now. So I'm going to get this. Well, that comes out pretty decent. So get this on my face here. Man, I'll tell you what, that Thayer's, that's not Thayer's, that's a different kind of witch hazel. The witch hazel, I'm sorry. The witch hazel does a really good job of protecting your face. I didn't really feel much of a burn there. But that is a very, very nice shave. So, final thoughts. This little razor right here, this is a decent little razor. There's nothing wrong with it. You can get a really, really good shave with it. I think if I shave with it a few more times, get to know its personality, get to know its little characteristics, I'd probably get a better shave, absolutely. Just got to get used to it. This is my first time shaving with these gym razors. I was calling them shovel heads, and then I was corrected that the Everready actually made a shovel head. And what the shovel head razor, it's hinged in the front, not back here. The shovel head razor is an Everready, and it's hinged in the front, and it pops forward. And I hear a lot of people complain about how rough those were. So now I can feel the burn starting to come on. So yeah, I like that. I love the burn. So this little razor right here, nothing wrong with it. Beautiful little razor, really good shaver. Awesome, awesome. And here is what I have left of the shave soap. Really not much. Quarter teaspoon and 9 ml of water. Perfect amount. I'm going to clean this up, and I'm not going to feel bad about wasting a whole bunch of soap that could shave another 3 or 4 gentlemen. Not even going to worry about that. That's perfect. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys seen what you wanted about this little razor here, and I hope you thought the bowl lathering techniques and the pros and cons that I went over, I hope you found that interesting. But the main star of the show was this little razor here. I really wanted to start going through all my vintage razors, and I am, and I'm really excited about it. They're actually really good little razors. I'm very impressed with these vintage razors. So anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Like I said, I hope you like what you've seen. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, hey, brother, it was good to see you. Thank you for being here again. Anyway, guys, you guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. God bless.